Sadly, we all know the misery of Britain's railways, the eye-watering fares, the arbitrary peak rates. Nobody knows when the peak rate starts or stops, the broken services, the too often the privilege of paying for a seat that you never receive. And now comes a new trial, a pay-as-you-go GPS system in the East Midlands, which promises to simplify all of this. Well, that's great, but what happens when you move out of the East Midlands into the main railway system? At first glance, it all sounds transformative. Instead of wrestling with ticket machines or obscure online fare tables, passengers check in on their phones, travel freely, and are charged automatically at the end of the day, always at the lowest available rate. In theory, this could be the Oyster card for the entire national network. The problem it seeks to resolve is real. Britain's rail fare structure is baffling. Peak and off-peak hours vary by operator, sometimes by route. Travellers face a labyrinth of advanced, anytime, off-peak, super off-peak, rail card discounts. Even the seasoned commuter can't easily predict the right ticket to buy. The result is widespread frustration, overpayment and distrust. And this opacity also hides deeper unfairness. Passengers already face some of the highest fares in Europe, paying over £150 for a London to Manchester return, only to sit on the floor of a cancelled or overcrowded train is not a service in any reasonable sense. What the GPS train offers is twofold. First of all, simplicity, a single app that handles ticketing without pre-planning, and fairness in fares, an automated guarantee that you never pay more than you should. Other countries show it can work. Denmark, Switzerland, even Scotland and ScotRail have piloted similar systems. And crucially, Scotland has gone further by abolishing peak fares altogether, thank God. A bold step that England should seriously consider. The Scottish government has shown that removing peak pricing not only makes fares fairer, but encourages modal shift from cars to trains, which is a genuine environmental gain. But let's be clear. Technology alone is not the full solution. A GPS app cannot repair the underlying problem of value for money. Charging passengers the best fare available is welcome, but if that fare is still extortionate compared to the quality of service, dissatisfaction will remain. Nor does GPS ticketing solve the reality of repeated cancellations, short formations, or the scandal of prosecutions for supposed fare dodging, which have already seen 75,000 wrongful convictions overturned. The real reform we need is a national fares calculator and a uniform, transparent payment system. Rail users deserve to know exactly what peak hours are, how much a journey will cost, and to pay it in the simplest way possible. At present, we have the opposite: uncertainty, inconsistency, and too often opacity designed to extract maximum revenue rather than deliver fairness. So yes, the GPS trial is a step forward, but it must be accompanied by structural changes to abolish or standardise peak fares, to guarantee a clear national timetable of fare rules, to simplify ticket types to no more than 2 or 3 options, and to tie fares more closely to service quality and reliability. In short, passengers do not simply want a modern app, they want justice in fares. They probably also want silence in trains, the constant barrage of the cacophony of announcements. They want a system where cost reflects service, where technology removes stress rather than masks exploitation or increases stress. That constant noise increases stress, let's be quite clear, and where rail is seen as a public service rather than a lottery. If the government and the great British Railways truly wish to rebuild trust, they must do more than digitise the chaos. They need to end that chaos.